And we're streaming live.
And we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of enLIGHTen with Div and Deb. And Deb's just come back from a client session doing program progress. And there's a specific tool that we use for program progress. It's a model that is one of number 25 of 50 focus sheets in your success code. And this model is about how do we track change? So I wonder if you'd like to share your experience.
Well, just for a bit of context, this client works in accounting, and we know that there's a lot of work with JobKeeper right now. And the client kind of come onto the call like, you know, where are you at? What's top of mind? What's current? And it was like, okay, so that's done. And now I need to refocus on many of the other things that had been put aside so we could do this simply and easily like that. And when we explored what she had actually achieved, she couldn't appreciate that she had never been this busy ever in her professional life. The closest to it was the rollout of the GST, where there was 12 months to prepare. And over the course of the 12 months, there were conversations with all of the client base. In comparison, there was all of the normal work to do, plus overnight, here's this new thing. The reading involved in understanding the legislation and implementing it, and it requiring that she call everyone within a 4-week period that would have happened over the course of 12 months. So effectively 12 months work has been condensed down into 4 weeks. And many other people are kind of finding themselves curled up in a ball, crashed, finding it difficult to regroup. So this is really, really significant. And actually she started the call by saying, yesterday was quite a calm day, and today I have started calm. I don't know if you can hear something significant in that. We don't actually have calm days. Life is always dynamic. However, the second time she said it, and today again, I have started the day calm, which is I'm bringing calm to a day. And so we calibrated her capacity to now do calm compared to in the past, because she hadn't realized how astounding her achievement of last week was, right? And when we missed that, we don't reinforce that neural pathway. When we notice what we actually did and the results of it, or the results and what we did to get it, we reinforce or pave that neural pathway that we've cut through. So we use the DIF model, which you introduced us to, Divya, which is, let's break it down and say on this particular criteria, which is calm, what is the duration of which we can sustain that state now compared to some earlier point in time?
That's the D in the DIF model. So it's an acronym, DIF, for the difference. So there's three key things that we pay attention to in a change process. And the first one is duration. What's the I stand for?
Intensity.
You want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. You summarize the model for us.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I is intensity, and then intensity obviously refers to how intense the experience is for us. You know, the kind of amplitude of our emotional experience, let's say.
Or how
and
pure the state is. Yeah.
how
So, or
pure the
perhaps you
state
could
is.
think
Yeah.
of it as how
Watered down. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
intensity. That's a great concentrated, like if you think about it in terms of, you know, how watered down, how concentrated, how pure the state is. Yeah, that
how strongly I
intensity
feel it. Yeah.
of,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's the I. And then the F stands for frequency. And frequency is how often it's occurring. So this particular client had a goal of calm. That was her goal when she started coaching, is I'd like to experience more calm in my life. And so here in this session, she had, obviously there had been a shift in that for her to even be saying yesterday was a calm day, and to ascribe that to a day. And today I started calm, and so then you explored with her the diff model to help her see just how much change had actually occurred in these three different contexts.
Well, interestingly, her coaching goal was not to be calm. She was burnt out and overwhelmed and had very poor work-life balance. And she was not happy because this was not congruent with who she was to be a good wife and mother. She was so exhausted at the end of a day that she couldn't do anything other than what she had to do, but not that she was overtly grumpy or anything, but you know, this is not quality of life and very difficult to be present. So you and I would know we have to point to the operating state. If you are operating in anxiousness and your mindset is not supporting you in getting through the workload in an efficient way, you're not going to have the energy at the end of the day to be your nicest self. So we've done quite a lot of things that are at a technique and strategy and mindset level, and the output is calm as a result. Yeah. So we've done things on organizing the mind and being focused and lots of things, and the natural output has been calm. She said that spontaneously. Yesterday was a calm day, today's calm. Now I'm just, that's done, move on mentally to focus on these things. So one of the strategies was actually to have clarity of mind. So when asking about making the comparison between how often is she calm now and what's the quality or intensity or experience of the calm, and how long does she stay calm compared to some starting point. And she said, I can't, because there wasn't calm. I had never even experienced calm. To kind of challenge her a bit and say there would have been something at times where she's distracted herself or got interested in something where she had lost the whatever is at the opposite end of the polarity of calm, which was urgency, was what she worked in all the time. That was her word. And I said, you wouldn't have been 24/7 in urgency. There might have been an occasion where you had a nice conversation in the tea room, or somebody go, oh my God, that project, you won't believe it, I nailed it, or something. And you've gone, you're not in that panic state. You've come off it, but it's very diluted. It's kind of, it might not have been sufficiently there that you recognize it. And she said, yeah, you're right. On the scale of 0 to 10, we might have gone, it's like 0.5. There was a kind of shift off that really intense state. And so that was really powerful to recognize, to go from barely imperceivably being able to get out of complete overwhelm and stress to just interested in something, is a bit of a flavor of this, to now. She rated the intensity of the calm. She said it kind of fluctuates. It's kind of, yes, I can recognize calm, and it fluctuates between about 5 and 7. And the duration, she said, oh, she might have been distracted from her stress maybe once a week. Now it is daily. There is commencing in calm, a noticing of a shift out to it, a stop. Use this strategy, which is actually the love strategy. We might want to cover that another time. Quickly and efficiently to come back to focus, calms the output again. And rather than this happening, we haven't mentioned the duration. So we said the frequency, and the duration is, it was a flicker, momentary distraction in the past. And now she sustains the calm for a good portion of the day, 2 to 3 hours, before she notices a kind of, oh, hang on a minute, I've got a little flustered, come focus, whatever. That's pretty extraordinary. And when you think she achieved that level of calm, focus, and mental organization, they were the 3 things that we were tracking, in these conditions.
Yeah.
Of having to basically a year,
quite remarkable.
4 weeks, very remarkable.
Well, as you're speaking, I'm reminded of a client session that I had just recently, where it was a similar context. He made a comment of, now that I've actually tasted a level of presence, which before that he hadn't, right? This is someone who had come on retreat with us and had a new bar for what presence was after that. It's really hard to, like, I notice when I've strayed from that, is basically what he was saying, you know. And if it's a little bit away from that, like, it's okay, but the further away I get from that, it's you know, so basically essentially what he was saying in that is, what was my default operating before, which his words are presence and stress, you know, her words might have been calm and urgency, but similar, like centered, grounded state versus a tense state. It's can't go back to that and not feel like something's amiss, right? When we have a new, that's the key thing. When we return to that, there's a feeling of, no, something's not right. When we've tasted a new level of something that we didn't know was available to us. Yeah.
And the power of actually taking time periodically. In our YSC program, we encourage Fridays to pause and say, to kind of do, what have I actually achieved today? Because when we put attention onto the achievement or the improvement or progress, that's, you know, we've carved a path through, like I think of a grader. I'm thinking of highways here, you know, a grader just cutting a path through, and it's all dirt and it's still pretty bumpy to drive down that. But once it gets paved, then we can zoom along it. And the process of actually measurably saying, this is the improvement that I've made, and only what's measured there is the big change. I have a little spreadsheet that generates a bar chart of, was here, it is here, was there, it is here, was there, it is here, and you get these great big bars of, look at me, I'm so amazing, I'm doing fantastic. That's paving the road so that you can make that extra progress that you want to make. We appreciate this still different distance between where we are and how much more we would like to continue on our growth of improvement. And this measuring the difference that we have already achieved is like putting down the tar on the road so we can zoom along it even faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was really delightful to join her in that process, and then her be able to, you know, having gone through that, I go, now as you look back on what you actually did last week, what does it feel like to, you know, what is it you can notice and just going, oh my God, it was actually amazing. Like, if, you know, and an earlier me would have gone, what? That would be impossible. Nobody could do that, let alone do it. And just like, okay, that week's done, next week. So yeah, that's
the image that comes to my mind when you say that is that of the boat on the horizon, you know, that keeps going, wants to go to a certain point, and if there isn't a sense of let me look back and notice the journey traveled, then there is a feeling of like I want to be there, because there's as we travel, the distance, you know, gets further and further away, our capacities expand. So there's also that, you know, not just what we appreciate. There's that, of course, with the diff model, but there's the encouragement of let me, you know, look back and observe and notice. So not only do we reinforce it, but there is also that feeling of we're more inspired and motivated to continue. Anything more you want to say about that diff model, or
no, it's just, there is one thing that is in my mind. What she ended up with is really acknowledging and appreciating her ability and capacity. I mean, that's implied that she's been able to do that, that she's quite able and has quite a big capacity. And what was actually, I went and checked the actual wording of the goal in our commencing coaching agreement, and it was, I want to have a better appreciation of myself and my skills, and I want to have better work-life balance so that I can be more fully the mother, wife, daughter, sister, whatever that I want to be. And so the actual wording was better acknowledge myself, better self-appreciation. And even though we were measuring outputs of calm, productivity, efficiency, you know, getting that done in a quality way, so I have this, what she actually achieved was what she set out to. I just find it really beautiful how the mind stays on track for what's really,
when given quality intention,
when it's given, when it's had a space to say, this is what's really important to me, and there's quality space there to explore it, and an ongoing process so that we can grow in our maturation towards that. I just, you know, it is, yeah, that's a coaching process. So I just kind of feel amazed at the mind and blessed that we get to do this with people.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel that regularly. Yeah, our minds are miraculous things.
Good.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap up there for today, and we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of enLIGHTen and see what is current tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye for now.